Katy. This one was really interesting. It's a kid asking everyone a question. And then, so I have a question for you off of this kid's question. But this kid asked, I have almost no memories of my parents asking me real questions about my life, unless they really, really had to. My struggles, how I was feeling inside, how to make my life better, etc. Instead, I was the one who listened to my mother's realist stuff, like her work, relationship with family, complaining about my father, her friends, etc. The kid's question was, did your parents ask you real questions? And my question for you is, a parent reading that would probably feel pretty sad or wonder, do I ask my kids real questions? Am I using my kid as a sounding board for my problems, or am I able to get to know them? So what would your advice be for how we can get to know our kids better as they're growing up, staying close to them, staying invested with important questions?
Well, it's interesting because my first thought is this kid is being raised by a single mother, because I actually hear that. You'll hear that from children of single mothers. And we've actually studied that kids who grow up with a woman, with a mom who's not married, they will become her primary person. Like, she'll start to treat them like a spouse or like a best friend, because she needs that kind of close proximity person with whom she can process or pour out or bear her emotional burdens. And that's exactly why there's supposed to be two adults in the relationship, because the mother and the father should be able to do that for each other. The mom's burdens, her work struggles, her personal challenges, those are real, but they don't belong on the shoulders of the kid. And so it's actually a pretty well-known dynamic for children of single mothers to, in essence, like little boys, to kind of become their mom's kind of emotional husband in some ways. I've unfortunately seen this in the life of some single mom friends of mine, who had one child, and then kind of the child grew up, and then strangely she happened to have another child 10 years later, and it's as if she's just looking at creating that ongoing emotional support for her. And I've seen the dynamic between her and her son, and it it's not just maternal. It's like she really needs him to love and understand her and support her. And I'm like, girl, you need a husband. You don't need multiple boys in your life. You need a husband. So I don't know if that was the situation. It sounds like if the dad was in the picture, he wasn't asking these questions either. Me personally, I feel like my parents were super emotionally dialed in. And I will often say that a lot of the things I do well as a mom, I do because that's how my mom parented me. And they were very emotionally healthy in terms of really trying to get the core of what I needed, not just surface level things, really trying to understand who I was. And I think that I carried that over into my own kind of parenting life. But it is a good opportunity for parents to assess, am I really emotionally dialed in with my kids? Because honestly, when your kids are like 10 and younger or 12 and younger, you're going to be able to get most of what you need out of them out of just rules and compliance and rewards and punishment. Once they get to be teenagers, that doesn't work anymore. At that point, you are going to have to motor along based on the emotional trust, the emotional bond, and the emotional connection that you have. And you're going to cultivate that through clearing away sort of surface level questions or surface level conversations, and getting to the heart of, who are you? What are you struggling with? What are you worried about? What are you hopeful for? What really matters to you most in life? And I'm not saying that you should be therapy king or queen to your kids all the time, but getting beneath the surface while your kids are growing is pretty critical as it relates to a long-term healthy connection with them.
Yeah, that's so good. I like even the simple questions of, what was your favorite part of your day, your least favorite part of your day, what's something you're excited about right now, what's something you're dreading or that's really challenging you, that get to more aspirational feelings. How's your day? Fine. How's your day? Fine, kind of thing. You can ask more interesting questions and get to know people that way.